Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. Today I'm going to do a video about a ghost hunt. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so you guys must be very excited, especially considering that it is almost Halloween. This was pretty much the first real intense investigation I did at my parents' house. Now you guys know, if you've been with me since the beginning of my channel, that I grew up in a very haunted house. We have a lot of paranormal activity and history in that house. So it's been a while since I posted any EVPs or have done an investigation at that house because, as I told you with the last EVP video from my parents' house, my mother was getting a little freaked out because it seemed like by me going in there and communicating with the spirits that it was bringing a little more activity into the house. I'm not going to play all the EVPs we got on October 8th at my parents' house because this will be a very long video if I do that. I'm thinking I'll probably put together like a lost EVP video where I'll just put in a bunch of EVP that I got from other investigations and this one that I'm not going to show you today, and just play, you know, some EVPs that I couldn't fit into other videos, or I thought they were just not significant enough to play in other videos, and just see what you guys think about that. Really the first significant thing that I found out happened since we stopped investigating my parents' house was something that my mother told me one day in the beginning of the summer when we were actually down the shore. We took a little trip to go to Sandy Hook, New Jersey, and we are at the Twin Lights of Navesink, which is a lighthouse, which is in New Jersey, obviously, since we were there. Yes, I'm trying to be professional about this, but, you know, I am Emma after all. And my son and father and husband actually went up the lighthouse. I didn't want to climb. My mother can't climb. She has bad arthritis in her knees. And I probably couldn't climb that day either. You know, I have an injury, and some days I just can't overexert myself. But we went in the museum, my mother and I, and after we got done looking around, she and I were both sitting on the bench in the museum. And I said to her, I said, I don't know what was wrong with me that I didn't bring my voice recorder, because it would have been awesome if I could just turn it on in the museum. It was just me and her there at the time, and see if I picked up any ghostly voices. And she said, speaking of ghost, I really have something I need to tell you. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And she said, the night before, that when she was coming out of the bathroom, she saw a man standing in the corner where I got a lot of EVP by her attic of a little girl and a little boy talking, and he was wearing a suit, and she just saw him standing there. Now that man did not belong in her house. It was not a real man. It was obviously a spirit. And she said what she did is she just shut the bathroom light off and walked right past him and totally ignored him. But she was like, that totally freaked her out. Another noteworthy thing that happened in between investigations was right after that trip. We took that trip to take my son somewhere special because he was going with his father to Newfoundland, Canada for 2 weeks, and we were going to miss him. Right after that trip, after he got home, we were all going to my parents' house to welcome him home and have a special dinner there. And when we got there, now you walk in the kitchen door and right in front of you is the dining room, and I noticed as I walked in the kitchen, a man just walked right past my vision. He was in the dining room. Nobody else noticed that was in the house that day, but that man did not belong there. The weird thing about it was that he was actually walking where nobody could physically walk because there were boxes and other things sitting in the dining room. He just could not walk there, but he was walking there. As far as his appearance, I really couldn't tell you what he looked like because it was like very fast. As far as other things go, my nieces, they heard what they claim is a little girl singing when they were having a discussion downstairs in the kitchen at my parents' house one day. My niece and my nephew were over at my parents' house watching my son, and my niece said she heard someone yelling upstairs when there was no one up there. A couple times before we did this investigation, a lot of us actually heard a baby crying upstairs. Now I know you guys probably know the story of the ghost baby that was in that house, but we have never heard from that baby in 30 years pretty much. But my sister heard it, I heard it, I believe some of my nieces heard it, and I think my mother heard it too, but I know definitely me and my sister both heard it at separate times, and that was just very odd. Now I don't know if you guys remember, but the very first EVP I ever posted on my channel was taken on the back deck of my parents' house. You could very clearly hear little children speaking, and then you could hear a woman say, "Help me." If you guys never heard that EVP, I'll link it in the channel, like right here. Go back and listen to that. It's a very good EVP. There's no explanation. There was no woman on the deck that spoke like that, no small children with us. So we actually returned to that deck, and I was a little reluctant at the time to do the deck EVP session because we did try to go back to the deck and get some more EVPs, and I was so frustrated that we weren't getting any, especially if you guys listen to that EVP I just linked to you. I mean, it's a great EVP, but I was frustrated because I've gone 5 or 6 more times to the deck and never heard from the woman again who asked for help. Now this time we did get a few EVPs. The first one I'm going to play for you, we just got randomly. I did not ask a question at the time. You know that sometimes I do like to just randomly give them free time to speak without asking questions. And in the middle of the quiet, we got a child just says something out of the blue, and it sounds like a really small kid. I don't know what it says. When I played it for my mother, she says it sounds like he's speaking a foreign language because she has no idea, he or she. But I'll play that for you now. Now on the deck, me and my niece Jolene, who's my oldest niece, I can't believe she's going to be 18 this year, like in a few days. But she's my eldest niece, and we got into a little spat between each other because she really wanted to do the EVP on the deck that day and I didn't, and I'm just like, I was being sort of confrontational about it, and she's like, "Oh, come on," and I'm like, "You need to shut up and get your own EVP recorder." And I was kind of teasing her, so everybody around us was kind of laughing and teasing her too. But in between us fighting, it seems like the spirits were getting a little annoyed with me being such a spoil sport. What you're going to hear me talking to her about is getting a voice recorder pretty much. I'm going to play like the whole snippet. And what I say is I got mine in the mail. When I say mail, or right before I say mail, you're going to hear what sounds like an old lady's voice. And to me it sounds like she says my name, like Emma. Like, you know, calm down, stop yelling at Jolene. Or maybe it was just the lady trying to get my attention, saying, "Hey, over here, I want to talk to you." I don't know, but it does sound like my name to me. I'm not sure.
Mine came in the mail. Mine came in the mail. Mine came in the mail.
The last EVP I'm going to play from the deck that day, it's very hard for you guys to hear it. You're going to want headphones on and your volume up. I will blast your ears out with my voice. I apologize for that, but it's a good EVP. It's just very, very faint. It's hard to hear. What you're going to hear me say is, I'm going to say goodbye now. Do you want to say goodbye? I'll probably play it from, do you want to say goodbye? And right after I say that, you'll hear a man's voice and he says, goodbye.
Now do you want to say goodbye? Now do you want to say goodbye? Now do you want to say goodbye?
Now, when night came, I was excited to do an investigation in the house upstairs where we get most EVPs. I can't play all the EVPs that we got that night for you guys, like I said a million times already in this video. But I'm going to share with you the best of them right now. So the first one I'm going to play for you, I'm going to play for my nieces. They actually tricked me when I was downstairs just talking with my mom and my sister and my family. They just were like, "Let me have the voice recorder so we can hear what we got on the deck. I want to go over it again." So I'm like, "Okay, here's the voice recorder." What they did is they actually went upstairs and tried to conduct EVP by themselves. Now, girls, EVP is not a game. Don't do that again. And they knew not to tell me what they were really gonna do because they knew I'd be like, "Wait for me." But they couldn't wait. So the EVP I'm going to play that they caught is what they tell me is an EVP. I wasn't there to verify that, but you're going to hear my niece Jolene say, and then right after that there's a girl that says, "Hey." That's the EVP that they got that night. Okay, so after I found out they were doing EVP without me, I obviously said, okay, I need to get them together so they can do it safely with me. I got them all together and I, said I invite any spirits to follow me talking to my recorder. You guys pretty much know the gist of it by now. And as we're walking through the hall to start, you're going to hear a whisper, almost a whispery voice, a male's voice, over the background noise. Now there is some background noise because there were people downstairs talking, but what you're going to listen for is what's over that. What, to me, it sounds like he's saying Michael Hunter might go under, or something about a hunter. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's saying. Maybe he's giving me his name. I don't know, but tell me what you think. Okay, the next one I'm going to play for you guys really freaked the girls out when I let them hear it. Me kind of freaked me out. My mom was just like, it sounds like a, really sad ghost. Why don't you just have pity for it instead of being scared? The girls are convinced that it's a demon and that, it's going to eat us, I think. Really, girls? Anyways, I don't think it's a demon. I do agree that it sounds like a little child and that it does sound sad. But you're going to hear me say something along the lines of, would you like us to move to a different location so it's easier for you to speak to us? And what we caught on the tape is just a response, and it does sound like a really sad voice, and what it sounds like it's saying to me is water or something like that. I don't quite know. What you're going to hear after that is everybody saying, did you hear that? They did not hear what I caught on the tape or the recorder. I know it's not a tape. They heard scratching on the wall. Now, I had probably 5 people up there with me, and they all heard it. I didn't hear it, but they heard it, so it's kind of like at the same time as I was getting that EVP, there was some kind of scratching on the wall.
To move so you can have an easier time speaking to us?
Was that you?
What?
You heard that, right?
That was weird.
I didn't
It was
hear
like a
anything.
scratch.
To move so you can have an easier time speaking to us? To move so you can have an easier time speaking to us?
Okay, so you guys can imagine I have a bunch of teenagers upstairs with me, and they just heard scratching on the walls. We're doing a paranormal investigation in the pitch dark. So I have to lasso them up and get control, and they are freaking out and very scared. What you're going to hear now is me go, shh, because I'm telling them to calm down. And by then they're pretty much calmed down, but I'm, shh, to the last few who were like running down the hall and running away. Okay, what you're going to hear after I say shh, and you gotta listen really closely and carefully, I can hear it without headphones, but I know what I'm listening for, is a whisper. What they whisper is a name, and again, they say my name. It sounds just like this. After that, you're gonna hear my niece Sierra's boyfriend, Richard. He was with us, and he says, I just got really cold in my legs. I wanted to play that on the tape and let you guys hear that, because the weird thing about that is I was standing here, Richard was standing directly across from me in the hallway, up against the wall. I was up against the stair railing thing. What makes me think that that is really coinciding with the EVP is that he's feeling the cold spot from the spirit while I'm getting the EVP from the spirit. And that's kind of really awesome to me.
It just got really cold in my legs.
Okay, I'm gonna play one more for you guys now. It's Sierra's boyfriend again, Richard. And we actually took a break and we came back upstairs, and we were actually just regrouping down at the end of the hallway, not the end of the hallway where we usually get all the EVPs, we were at the other end. And I was standing right next to him, and the girls were like standing around in a circle, so I don't remember who else was standing next to me. I remember quite clearly, he said, something just moved over there. It really did. And I looked down and I'm like, oh. Now, on the EVP recorder, what I picked up was when he said, it really did, I hear a whispery child's voice say something that sounds like, to me, picture. But it could be Richard, because Richard and Pitcher is kind of close, so maybe it was saying his name. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
It really did. It really did. It really did.
So, thanks for watching that video. Like I said, I have a lot more EVP from that night and other investigations that I did, Pennsylvania graveyards, that I just didn't include in videos because I couldn't find the time to fit them in there. And I will be doing like a kind of like a scrambled together EVP video for you guys soon. Like I said, I won't be having any videos up for you guys next week. I'll be enjoying my it's not like a second honeymoon, but it's an anniversary vacation. Me and my husband will be down in Cape May, which is a very haunted Victorian town in New Jersey, if you guys don't know that. I will be doing some little poking around ghost hunting, especially since we're going to Smithville and Leeds Point, which is the Jersey Devil's birthplace, in the Pine Barrens. I'm so excited to be going, finally. So hopefully I'll be bringing you something at least cool to watch, even if I don't have like any ghost on tape. You probably see me tripping over tree branches and stuff in the Pine Barrens. That'd be fun. And again, thank you for watching and have a very happy and safe Halloween, guys. Do not eat the apples with the razor blades in them. I swear to God, I wasn't allowed to eat any apples when I was trick-or-treating, and I got them in my sack as a kid. My mom was like, don't eat the apples. It has cyanide. Happy Halloween, guys. Bye.